You know, I didn't think it would get any worse than it already was with the pricing of, let's say, Mario Kart World and, Switch Welcome Tour and stuff like that. But I was proven wrong, sadly. I was hoping to not make this video, but yeah, no. Sadly, things have gone too far. And for those not in the know, we had a Nintendo Direct like 2 days ago, and the Directs showed some cool stuff. But there's always a catch, and that's what I want to talk about today. I'm just kind of done with the catches. This is going to be very unscripted, there's not going to be a certain order. I just want to throw all my thoughts out because I'm just done, man. I'm just done with their bullshit. So first of all, I want to talk about the Mario Galaxy collection, bundle, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not just gonna say they are selling them as simple ports, because they're not. They have been upscaled. They're gonna add some stuff like an easy mode. They're gonna add more pages to Rosalina's backstory. That's some good stuff, but sadly all that stuff is stuck under a $70 paywall. Oh, I wouldn't say paywall because you're just buying the game, but yeah, man, it just doesn't make any sense why this game they sold for $10 on the eShop during the Wii U era is now $40 a piece, $70 as a bundle. I just have no words. This is genuinely the worst thing they have done this generation so far, and that, it's not saying a lot because the generation has just started. The thing has only been out for like a few months, but it's just sad and disappointing to see, man, because there is no justification you can give for the games being $70, $40. There is no excuse you can make. I mean, I guess it's because they want to promote the movie, but I wouldn't even say that's a valid argument because they're releasing next month. If they were like releasing closer to the movie, then I would say, yeah, they're doing a they're doing a Sonic situation. You release Shadow Gens, and then soon afterwards the third movie with Shadow comes out. So I guess that would be a valid reason, but that's not what's happening here. They are just releasing next month for a high price point. To make matters worse, they are also selling amiibo with them. What's bad about that? They're $40 a piece, or I think at least. I'll put the real prices on screen in case I was wrong or I was right. Whatever. This is just. I hate being speechless because that's just me. I just feel so defeated when I am. They're plastic. Okay, I remember when amiibos were like $15. I remember buying my very first Mario amiibo during the Smash 4 days for $12.99. And now they are asking us like full game prices for the figures. Not only Mario, also Kirby, also Metroid. It's insane. It's genuinely insane. I just really don't know what is going on through their head. But you know what? Let's continue because I'm not done yet. DK Bonanza. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this one pisses me off more than the Mario Galaxy situation because with Mario Galaxy, at least they're selling full games. And yes, even though the games are like 15 years old by now, it's still 15 years old. It's like 2025. Whatever. The games are old, but at least they're full games with added stuff. So the price point is bullshit, but I don't think it's as bad as the DK DLC because they are selling, and you cannot argue with this. This is just so obviously cut content from the main game, which they decided to sell separately for an extra buck. One island with nothing to do on it, and a roguelike mode, which is like similar to Luigi's Balloon World. It's just like not literally Luigi's Balloon World, but just Luigi, like just a little side mode, you know what I mean? What you can do in the open world, or like in the sandboxes, as we like to call them in Nintendo games, for $20. Like, imagine if Nintendo sold the Mushroom Kingdom and Luigi's Balloon World for $20 during the Switch era. That's what they did here. And I'm not joking when I say there's literally nothing to do on the island. There's nothing. There are no Bananian gems to find. There are no secrets. It's literally just the Emerald Rush mode. And that's it. And even then, you have to unlock the other layers in the Emerald Rush mode, so you don't get everything at once. Which just goes to show that this was always planned to be in the main game as a post-game, but they just decided to, sell it separately. I was gonna say later on that I thought the post-game of DK Bonanza was lacking, but now I see why. Because they just cut it, basically. You remember how Mario Odyssey transitioned from the credits to Mushroom Kingdom as this big moment? Like, the original location is back. I'm 100% sure this was gonna happen with DK Bonanza, but they just didn't do that because they wanted an extra buck. They needed more money. They were greedy. And it just sucks. It really does. I'm just pissed off because I just can't be hyped for Nintendo anymore. I didn't upload for 2 months after that DK Bonanza Direct, and the reason for this is because there was just, I'm not hype anymore. I created this channel to talk about Nintendo and to be hype about Nintendo, but the hype is gone. With every thing they show in a Direct, I always have to like keep my expectations in check because shit is overpriced as fuck. Mario Tennis Fever, like 70 or 80, I don't know which one it was, but even then both of them are outrageous for a spin-off. A Mario spin-off, like a tennis game, come on man, what are we doing here? It's just so frustrating because it, I'm just sad, man. I'm just sad. Like I said before, we know. I don't know. I can't remember if I said it before, but whatever. I probably did. Nintendo has always been greedy. This is nothing new. I'm not like shocked that they're greedy because I know they are. But they are really trying to look how far they can go. They're really trying to see, okay, how far can we go with this? For how much can we, sell them this? And it just sucks, man. And like, with the Wii U era, you remember the Mario Kart DLC, right? How cheap that was, for example. And even like during the Switch era, you know what I mean? It's just, okay, yeah, that's where the greed kind of started to show, but it was still doable. Let's say DK, right? If you're gonna have to ask money for it, like, knowing them, they really want to. But in that case, just ask like $5, man. Like, I don't know, maybe like 9, 10, like, I don't know. It's just anything above 10 is just crazy to me. That's just not realistic. It's not realistic. That's the thing. You can't just scam us like that. And the sad part is, I've seen so many people on Twitter, like, yeah, I'm part of the problem. Yeah, like, why are you celebrating? Why are you like acknowledging that there is a problem? And even then, why are you like proudly admitting that you're adding to the problem? And I'm not saying like you can't do with your money what you want. Like, do what you want with your money. That's not my problem. It should be your problem, right? Or like your choice at least. We are aware of how Nintendo is as a company. And then to go on like Twitter or Instagram or whatever, and to just go on there and be like, yo, I'm part of the problem, let's go! Like, why are you admitting to that? Why are you admitting to that? I don't understand. It's just sad to see. And then with the Pokemon DLC, okay, this is like one of the things that I kind of disagree with the majority, because this is not the first time Nintendo did this. They did it with Xenoblade as well. They did it with Smash as well. And to go and say, yo, but Smash is different because that's a fighting game, or with Xenoblade is different because they earned our trust. No. If your opinion is that there should be no DLC announced before release, then that should be for every game. Like, I don't care which company it is that does this. Either you want it or you don't. They'll go like cherry picking which one is fine and which one isn't. So to me, I don't really care. I was like, excited for the reveal because I like Pokemon a lot. But whether it would be announced today or like in a few months, it wouldn't have changed my reaction. I still would be equally as hype. Just like how I was with Xenoblade, just like how I was with Smash. So that's something I disagree with, but what I do agree with is that the DLC is fucking $30. Nintendo is not fun anymore. Nintendo is simply not fun anymore. I just can't enjoy it fully without always being a catch. Mario Galaxy gets re-released. The catch? Pay up, a large price. Either separately or both at the same time, $70, $40. Pokemon. I'm excited for the game. What's the catch? $30 DLC on top of a $70 game. What else? The Virtual Boy. That was kind of funny seeing that, but all the fun went away when they told us, we have to buy a $100 accessory or $25 worth of cardboard. Come on, man. It's just I'm just sad. Like, that's like really the big reason behind this video, and also just the big reason why, yes, I just simply don't want to make videos about Nintendo anymore because it's not fun anymore. I can't be hype. And to talk about like real life for a second, economically speaking, or whatever you want to call it, it's not really the best in the world right now. So, when video games are supposed to be an escape from reality, just simply buying one is another reminder of reality. Or like, I don't know if I'm like over exaggerating here, but that's how it feels to me. Maybe that's another reason. Maybe we're just not used to games being so expensive nowadays. That's also, like, that could be a reason. I don't know. Maybe it's just like getting used to it. And like I said before, currently, like, a lot of people, like me included, I'm just gonna keep it real, are not like that financially stable. So, if you just want to play a game or like are excited for a game, like I put money aside for Legends CA, because realistically speaking, if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to buy it. So it's just like a fuck situation. And the Mario Galaxy Collection, I'm not buying that. And that hurts, because Mario Galaxy 2 is my favorite Mario game of all time, and in my top 10 favorite games of all time. Mario Galaxy, as well. I'm not like really agreeing with what they did with the UI. Okay, that's just like a me nitpick, but I just think it's like uglier, and I really do think it like hampers the gameplay experience for me specifically, but that's not important right now. I really don't think Nintendo has like anything to show for the Switch 2. It's like, maybe it's because it's similar to the Switch, right, with the UI and the thing itself, but it's just, I don't know, it's just, I just don't really feel that motivation from both parties, like from us and from the company itself. And I think that's a result of what's happening right now. I mean, come on, man, $20 for Luigi's Balloon World, what are we doing? It's just $70 for Wii games and $40 for plastic with like lackluster. Like, let's be honest here, like, if they were like doing cool stuff, like with this amiibo you'll unlock an entire track, and yes, and with this amiibo you can like an entirely new character which is playable and upgradable and whatever. Like, yes, it will still be scummy that it will be behind that paywall of a figure, but at least it will be something. Like, let's see with Kirby, it's just training your racer, just like with Smash, and like, let's be honest, nobody fucking did that. Or let's say, with Mario Galaxy, like, it gives you items. Well, what items? So let's say I'm in a Boo level, do I only get the Boo Mushroom? It's just, yeah, I don't know what to do with the channel anymore, because I just don't want to do this anymore. And not because I don't want to do this, it's just because I don't want to do this with Nintendo. It's just not fun. It really isn't. How the fuck is Sonic doing better? How? It's Sonic. It's fucking Sonic. And like, look, I love Sonic. Sonic is my favorite franchise of all time. But like, Crossworlds is like doing better critically than Mario Kart World, and it's only been a beta so far. Sonic X Shadow Generations is a way better deal than the Mario Galaxy Remaster Collection. You get like a remaster of Gens, one of the best fucking Sonic games ever made, and a full-on sequel to both generations and Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, how is Sonic doing better than Nintendo right now? Like, okay, yeah, no, I'm not saying fully, because I don't think Sega is that much better than Nintendo, because Sonic Crossworld's $90 for like a digital deluxe edition paywall. Like, that's fucked. That's really fucked. Locking the Werehog behind pre-order, that's also fucked. It's just, everything is fucked right now. I did not enjoy Mario Kart Worlds, and TK Bonanza's post game wasn't that good, and now we know why. I just can't enjoy it anymore, and it's because of the companies. It sucks. It really does. Also with the Switch 2 editions, why the fuck are they paid? Why the fuck are they paid? It's like, the DLC, sure, like those Zelda memories, the Star-Crossed World, like, ask money for that. I don't give a fuck. Whether I buy that or not, like, that's not important. But why are you locking the gameplay enhancements behind a paywall? Why do I have to pay to play 60 FPS Zelda? Or 60 FPS Kirby? Like, I replayed Mario Odyssey. Had a good time because of the upgrades. I played more Scarlet and Violet because of the upgrades. It's cool. But then you're gonna ask money for, the ones that needed it the most? Again, I just want to really say that I understand Nintendo has always been greedy. I'm not saying they weren't, but not to this degree. And that's not some weird thing to say. Like, I think we can all agree to that. It's just a fuck situation. It's just a fuck company. Like, fuck them. Variable pricing bullshit. That's just bullshit. That's like such a load of crap. It's just because it's so obviously just said so they could justify Mario Kart World's price. There is no such thing as variable pricing at Nintendo. You're telling me that the Mario Galaxy remasters are at the same level of DK Bonanza? Bullshit! Bro, they should have been $20 separately. Because, okay, let's be honest here, right? Like, on the eShop Wii U, they were like 10. But if you're gonna, like, upgrade them a little bit, like higher resolution and add some stuff like more Rosalina lore, then, I could accept the $20 per piece, and then, like, the full bundle being $40. That's fine. Shadow Generations was $40. That's cool. Like that had an entirely new game included. You see, like, it's just so, you know, when you're talking about like variable pricing and then like Splatoon Raiders, what is that bitch gonna be? Like $90, $80? What's the variable reason? Oh yeah, it's Splatoon, you know. And who's to say they're not gonna, like, you know, cut content from the game and then release DLC 2 months later for $20? Who's to say they're not gonna do it in Metroid? Who's going to say they're not gonna do it with Fire Emblem? Who's going to say they're not gonna do it with Air Riders? Because, you know damn well that shit doesn't have a lot of content. Like, let's be honest here. Like 5 tracks for 80. But what the fuck are they doing? What the fuck? Whoa! Oh, I was stuttering as fuck right there. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? I'm speechless. It's just so fucked. Like, yo, I'm just. The fact that I just stopped uploading for 2 months said enough about what my current thoughts on Nintendo are. Like, I don't give a fuck if this video gets like 2 views. I just wanted to get this out of my system, and let this also be, you know, an explanation why I probably won't be uploading as much anymore. I will still be uploading, and I will definitely return to YouTube because I'm probably gonna swap to like long form, like retrospectives and reviews talking about Xenoblade or Sonic Unleashed or whatever the fuck I want to talk about. But like being a hype channel, what I want it to be is like, that's done. I'm not because I'm just not hype anymore. I'm not. And it's so sad because it's just Nintendo is like my thing, you know. It's like I love Nintendo. They really inspired me, like, creatively, right? The shit I create in my free time is always based on their work and Sonic. But, you know, it's just, it was always my escape. You know, it's how I met my friends. It's everything, you know. I'm not gonna say like, you know, like this is like, you know, this applies to a lot of people, but, you know, Nintendo is special to me. And it sucks to see what's happening right now. I've said my piece. I've said what I wanted to say. And just don't... Yeah, it's just fucked. I'm really not happy. I'm really not happy. I'm not happy at all. I'm still gonna talk about Nintendo on the channel, but I won't like put the effort in of, you know, doing like fancy screen transitions and, you know, showing my face. I'll probably do that later for like big videos, like reviews or something. But whenever there's news and I wanna, you know, give my thoughts on it, it's gonna be like this, because if they're not gonna give a fuck, then I'm not gonna give a fuck. Simple as that. And I'm sorry if like you want to see my face, but I'm done. I just don't want. I'm just not having fun anymore. And, you know, because of them, this YouTube shit isn't fun anymore. Maybe if I talk more about, you know, Sonic or like the positive stuff, then, you know, I'm only hyped for like Xenoblade, or like at least like Monolith Soft's work, or like the next big 3D Mario, which I didn't reveal, by the way. Mario's 40th anniversary is ass. I'm just gonna say this right now. Mario's 40th anniversary is... It really looks like they just grabbed what they were already working on, and they were like, you know what? Let's say this is for the 40th anniversary. So, like, bro, like, all the shit that they announced was gonna happen regardless of the anniversary. Like, let's be honest here. It's just like, it fit with, you know, the timeline of events, I guess. So it just all worked out, but still. I'm done. I don't want to make this too long. I'm pretty sure like 80% of the people who are watching this are not gonna finish the whole video, so they're not even gonna hear this part. But fuck it, like I said before, I really don't care about the views anymore, or, you know, I'm just done with Nintendo for a while at least. I'm not gonna buy Galaxy. I'm not gonna buy the Amiibo. I'm not gonna buy DK. Yeah. All I can say is, I'm sad.